Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Rivera and this is my 2010 Chevy Tahoe LTZ. Now this car has seen better days. Of course this is a 13-year-old car, and again it has seen better days and it has seen a better life. This car has tons of scratches, oxidation, swirl marks, chips, you name it, it's probably on here. And today in this video, of course expanding for a few days, I might be able to make this car like it was when it came out 13 years ago. And with that, I mean, I'm going to be compounding and polishing this car, which I've never done before. This car is something that is not new to me. I had, before this, a 2007 GMC Yukon SLT, which is the same body style, GMT 900, but there's a little bit of difference with this car and the 2007. Of course, it's a 3-year difference, but feature-wise and also drivability, it's sort of the same, but a little bit better between both models. And then before that, I had a 98 Chevy Blazer. That one was just bare minimum, really. But I upgraded to the 2007. We got rid of that because unfortunately that was in a car accident. I was involved in a car accident with it. It was completely totaled, though it didn't look like it was totaled. I'm okay, but we got this instead. And I'm here to make this thing 100% again. So today is going to be, right now, is going to be me pretty much pressure washing this car to get rid of all this dirt. Then I'm going to be cleaning it with just regular Chemical Guys soap, just car soap. It's not going to be a wax or anything like that. I'm just stripping all of this dirt away. And then I'm going to be using something called Chemical Guys Clean Slate, which means there is some coating on here because I went through car washes and everything. Not the brush one, it's just the pressure washer type, and it had that ceramic coating or whatever on it, so that Clean Slate is going to completely wipe it clean. And then after that, I'm going to be using a leaf blower to get rid of all that water from the crevices, and I'm going to be clay barring it. This is a big car. I'm going to have a lot of trouble clay barring this thing. So clay barring is pretty much, it gets rid of all that that embedded dirt inside the paint. And like if you can hear, there is quite a bit of dirt. And of course this is very, very hot. So I know washing a car is not really right straight up at 1:20 or 1:30 in the afternoon with about 83 degrees out. It's not logical, but better do it now. But after the clay bar, I'm going to be heading to my family friend's house, and I'm going to be compounding this and polishing it, which I'm very nervous about, but I think I'm very confident. This is a very big vehicle, as you can see. A very big vehicle, but as you can see, the tires are relatively shiny, and that is because I cleaned them yesterday. I was going to clean the outside of this yesterday and record it, but it didn't happen. I was running out of daylight, and it was relatively hot yesterday. It's sort of nice out now. It's still hot, but not as hot as yesterday. But before I start washing this, I'm going to show you what I did with these. And they were relatively bad. You can't really see it, but the hood is super bad. It's completely white with oxidation. The hood or the roof is just the same thing. Of course, it's in the element, and honestly, if I don't treat this, I think it's gonna start becoming like sun damage, and that means I have to repaint it. But I think with me compounding and polishing this, I think this is going to work, and this car is going to look nothing like it was before. This is my baby. I'm just coming around to clean it because I've been working, but also I still don't have a name for it. I call it the Tahoe. I'm no professional. I looked up videos, I mean a lot of videos on Chemical Guys, Wilson Detailing, which is based in Nashville, Dan the detailing guy, I think his name is, or polishing guy, I can't remember. I looked up tons of videos on how to compound and polish, and it's sort of the same thing, But there's going to be little things that I won't be able to do because at my local store they didn't really have it. So without further ado, I want to welcome you to detailing the exterior of my 2010 Chevy Tahoe LTZ. I hope you all enjoy. Since we're done cleaning the tires, we're finally going to move to the paintwork. Now here's the thing, this might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but you'll catch my drift why I'm doing this. So we're going to be using Chemical Guy's Mr. Pink. This is really the only solution of soap that I have at my home that doesn't have a wax of anything in it, from what I've seen. So I have it in a bucket and I have it in my Chemical Guy's Big Mouth foam cannon. We're going to wet the surface first with my pressure washer using a turbo nozzle. And if you don't have a turbo nozzle, I highly recommend it. It's freaking amazing. Though it's a little more aggressive on this and you can hear it, but I personally like it better because it goes in a circle and it's much more aggressive and you can knock some of that dirt off. So we're going to be pressure washing this first. And I'm going to start from the roof, that's why the ladder's here, and work my way down because as we all know, dirt falls down as gravity comes down. So I'm going to be doing that. And after when that's done, we're going to be spraying it with Mr. Pink right here. And we're going to be grabbing a microfiber hand towel, pretty much like a cloth, and we're going to scrub it. But we're using that Big Mouth cannon, we're going to let it sit and let it drip, and then we're going to use that mitt and just wipe off all this stuff that's on this paint. So why I'm using Mr. Pink here is because we're going to be using this little tiny bottle called Chemical Guy's Clean Slate. This thing is to strip all the wax, ceramic coating, everything off of it. And if you can see, it's relatively small. So that's why I'm using this first to knock out the dirt. So let's get started. So I have my turbo nozzle here. Gotta love it. And I'm gonna be doing the roof first, and I'm gonna step down, move away the ladder, and do the rest of this paint. I'm not gonna show you the other side because it's pretty much the same thing, and I don't have two cameras unfortunately, so yeah, here we go. Alrighty, so we cleaned the car. We're going to now use the foam cannon and clean the car. We're going to work from the top, from the roof, and all the way down. Now we're going to activate the suds in here. Cool. And then I have a mitt here. That's what I was talking about. I'm going to use on here, let that soak. And then I'm going to be using this. This is the same thing as the mitt, but it's on a handle, and I can go up on the ladder and use this on the roof so I'm not killing myself. And of course I'm short, so this helps as well. So where I'm going to be using both of these, I'm not going to be cleaning the tires at all because that's already clean anyways. So we're just focusing on the paint to get rid of all that stuff on it, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to take off this and put this on. And again, I'm going to be starting from the roof first, clean that, and then do everything here. Because the roof is just the highest point, it's annoying. And again, clay barring and polishing and compounding is going to be terrible for it too. Because it's the highest point of the car. So, let's get started. Okay, so since this is clean, we're going to be using a 2-bucket method. So this one just has regular water and has a grate on the bottom, and all you do is rinse it out. And pretty much it's a clean soap or towel. But we won't be using this anymore, so we can place this off to the side. And now I can spray the top and then work our way down. So as you can see, I dried it with this, but what I did was, because I don't know when it got cut off, but I pressure washed it again, and then I added the big mouth foam thing, and I completely just added it towards the car, agitated it, and then pressure washed it off, and I dried it, and that's why it's a little shiny and it's dripping still. But the perk, here's a tip that you can do, is that what you can do is that you can grab a air hose, or you can grab a leaf blower and get into all those crevices and blow it out so it's not dripping anymore. I'm not going to be doing that just yet. I will do that after when clean slate is applied. So now I have to jump onto the other side and do the same thing as I did with the roof or with the hood as well. I'll let my phone cool down, and I'll see y'all when that's done. Alrighty, so we're in a different angle. My phone's in the shade, so it's not going to overheat. So this yellow stuff here is the clean slate. It actually smells like dish detergent in a way. I found out always Chemical Guys products always smell really good, and it doesn't smell chemically, which I really like. So it's not killing you. And then there's soap in here of the clean slate, and in here as well. And again, we're going to start from the top and work our way down all around the car. And I'm hoping that this thing will actually strip everything, so that when you do wash it, it's going to have just like a, not beating off, it's just going to slowly come down. You know what I mean? So let's activate the suds here. We're going to start from the top and work our way down. Here we go. Alrighty, so this car is completely clean, and it's actually relatively smooth. I'm very surprised, because like, remember in the beginning you heard like a this is really cool. I haven't seen it sparkle this much before, but right now I'm going to be grabbing the towel that's here, that's blue, and I'm going to be using this to go inside the crevices, and usually right here and where the mirror is and all, it drips water and everything. So I'm literally going to just use this to get rid of all of it, so that there's no drippage and nothing coming out of any crevice of this car, so that it doesn't interfere with anything. And also the clay bar cannot attack the water, and it's just the lube that is with it. So let's get started. This thing is 100% completely dried and clean to the point of us finally clay barring it. So I'm going to clean everything up here, and we're going to clay bar this entire side. Okay, so I cleaned up everything. This is completely dry. And again, when I put my hand over it, it does feel a little rough. So I'm going to be using the Chemical Guys Complete Clay System, which you get applicator pad for the butter wax, you get the clay lube for the clay, you get the clay, microfiber towel, and clean slate, and that's what I used on this. The clay lube is right here, and you get a pretty decent big bottle. You get the OG clay bar, and I'm going to be wearing a glove with this. I don't have two gloves, I only have one, so I'm going to try not to like contaminate it much with my other hand. So the general idea of this is you take like a fourth of this. You don't need much because you're kneading it. So when you're kneading it, and then you first off create a patty with it, and you go side to side and up and down like this. You don't ever go in circles, because just in case if a contaminant is in this and you do a circle, you're going to see the swirl mark. So it's like this and up and down like that. And then you'll feel a little resistance on this until it's completely smooth. And then when you think it's smooth, you wipe it off and you can feel it, and it's very smooth. Place it back in its casing so it's protected. And we're going to use this. We're going to spray it on it liberally, like use quite a bit of amount. I'm going to spray this too, and then we're going to go at it until where it's smooth. So I'm just doing this little section. This smells a little odd. It smells like cinnamon. Spray this a little, and it's blue. Now I get a smell of bubble gum. So now we're gonna go up and down like this, side to side, and I can feel it. You can hear it and feel it. So I'm gonna be silent for a second. I can see it. Of course, when this thing becomes dry, as I'm seeing it now, you just respray it. You're good to go. Now, side to side, spray it. Again, you are keeping this lubed. If you feel a little bit of resistance, keep spraying it and keep going over it, because I'm just feeling a lot of it. So pretty much you're getting it at different angles. Let me wipe this down first. So as you can see, there is stuff in here. It's hard to see, like the little tiny stuff you see, like little holes and everything. That's debris. There's a lot of stuff on this, but it's very, very small. So pretty much I did this side. So you just fold it over, flatten it out, fold it over, flatten it out. Then you got a brand new side you can work on. Spray this entire end and do this end, and then we'll continue on this way. And I'm going to overlap where I did, so I know we have full coverage. And of course there's a lot more stuff happening, but honestly there's not a lot of contaminant as I've been thinking. It's very clean right now. You have to be very thorough with this, because you are going to introduce a compound and a pad, and if that pad gets contaminated, you will introduce swirl marks even though you're trying to get rid of it. Though again, as I said in the very beginning, I'm no professional, but again, you want a good thorough job and don't want to mess your paint up. This is relatively smooth right now too, so this is crazy. Let's wipe this off. Wow, that's crazy. I don't think I see anything nor feel anything, and honestly it's a little bit shinier But again, nothing will make it even more shinier than compounding and polishing it. So we're going to knead this. Let's move on to this panel. Also, it's the next day. I clay barred the entire car, and earlier this morning I clay barred the roof, and that was very hot and very uncomfortable to do, but we got it done. Now, as you can tell, I taped all along the edges here and on the door handles because this is my first time doing it, and I have this tape here splitting this side because I just want to see a comparison of how well each side will do. And of course, when I got here, I traveled, so what I did was IPA, isopropyl alcohol, and you dilute it with distilled water. So I put the distilled water in a 32-ounce spray bottle and alcohol, mix it, and of course it's diluted. The measurements will be on the screen here. And then I just misted it like that and wiped it down, grabbed another microfiber towel, wiped it dry, and it made it completely gone. That residue was gone. So the distilled water doesn't have minerals and it doesn't leave watermarks or whatever. And this actually has watermarks in it. And I tried getting rid of it with the clay bar and everything, and it did not come out. So it's just ingrained into the paint. And of course, with this compound we're using, it's going to get rid of almost all imperfections. So I'm going to be using my phone here. But as you can see, there is tons and tons of spider webbing. Of course, it's during the day. It's not dark in here, and also I'm using a foam light, so it's not as strong, but you'll get a general gist of how bad this paint is. And if you're in the full sun, you'll be able to see it really good. And this has like a white haze on it. It's very bad. Now, it's also worth mentioning that this paint is at 92.5 degrees. When I place the compound on here, it's going to harden and it's going to become very cluttered. To sort of minimize that, is after every pass, you have to clean your pad. So I have a finishing pad, or it's called basically a correction pad, and it's on a DA or a orbital sander that goes into a figure 8 type pattern. So with these, it goes in a circle, but then it goes into like a figure 8 action, so it's not staying in one spot. It's sort of going like a sunflower pretty much, so that you can't really burn through this paint at all. So this is a brand new thing and it's relatively dry. So to prep it, you can either spray polishing pad conditioner, and you do like 1 or 2 mists on it and it will go away. But of course I don't have that, so we're going to be using just water. Now, I don't have a spray bottle, so we're going to be using a napkin and just plotting it damp. Don't want it too soaked, but you want it damp. So we're going to be going with a generic one that is a rubbing compound from 3M. This removes heavy oxidation, light and medium scratches, and water spots. If it's a 5-inch, they use 5 pea-side dots, or they use, for a 6-inch, they use 6. We're going to be shaking this up, but then the next step is that you can either spread this like this, but I don't have pads on me or gloves on me, so we're going to dab it on here to spread it out evenly. So we're going to do this like so. I'm going to dab it all over, and then we're going to turn this on, and what you do is that you go like this or any other direction like this, and then you go up like this. So you're going side to side, left to right, and then up and down, and you're doing that slowly, like a medium to fast pace to spread this stuff out. And then you're going to go up and down slowly, and take your time with it. So here we go. And I'm using medium to light pressure. I barely am actually pressing any pressure on this, because you don't need that pressure on here. Now I'm going to try to get this good, because of course the surface is hot. So we're going to try to keep this at a pace that it won't harden. And this is all you're doing. You're just holding it, and you're letting the tool do the work. You're not putting any force on it. You don't want to, actually. And then we're going to grab a clean microfiber towel, so I'm going to shake this out, and we are going to polish this, or just wipe it off like so. But I do see scratches that have appeared that were concealed, I'm assuming. So I do see a difference. I'm going to try one more pass and see what that does. As you can see, a second pass did do it well. It's not as hazy, and it's very dark. So this is amazing. You can see the line. That is bad, but it looks really good. Like, you can see the difference and like how bad it was. And this was just 2 passes. I think honestly 2 passes is fine, because the polish will get rid of it. This is not going to be a showroom perfect looking car. I don't want it to be. I just want to get rid of some of that scratches so it's not as noticeable, not as hazy. What we're going to do is that I'm going to continue throughout this entire front, this side, and yeah, this is going to be crazy. I think it's going to look amazing. So let's get to it. Okay, so before I start polishing, I want to mention a few things. So at this point in the video, it's almost been an entire week of me compounding, polishing everything on this car. So I decided not to talk during this process. I just wanted to get it done. What I did was, when I compounded the roof in the last clip, I actually polished the roof as well, because the roof is very hard to do and the ladder was very off and teeter-tottering, and it wasn't a good experience. So I did the roof when I compounded and polished the roof, and I also waxed the roof as well. So at this point, everything is pretty much the same with compounding, but polishing, you're just doing it one, because polishing is very light and you're getting rid of those fine marks that the compound made, so you're not going over polishing several times. I only did one pass because I think it was fine after one. So as you can tell, I'm not using the machine that I used throughout this video. Why is because when I kept placing the pads on, and it was a foam pad, and I was using painter's tape to tape it to the foam pad, and it worked for this entire video. But of course, when I washed the pad, let it dry, I guess it didn't dry thoroughly and it kept coming off. So I'm using Maguire's Ultimate Polish for this. So polishing, it happens very fast. Unlike compounding, you go over it twice. You have to make sure you got it covered. For polishing, it's very easy and it's smooth and very fast, as I said. And with polishing and waxing, I got it done within the same day, which explains to you how fast that is. Here we go with polishing, and then we'll move on to waxing. Alrighty, so we are at the final step of this process, and it is waxing the car. I'm going to be using Meguiar's Ultimate Liquid Wax, and it comes with a cloth, a applicator pad, and of course the liquid wax. I was going to use some kind of like either paste wax from Meguiar's, but of course, yet again, supplies aren't available where I'm at, so I have to like order it online. But I can't really leave this car unprotected, so I'm just going to be using a wax, and I'm going to be doing 2 coats of it all around. So I already waxed the roof because when I compounded and polished the car on the roof, it took forever, and I just wanted to get the ladder out of the way. It didn't take as long, and I did 2 coats everywhere. I'm very excited for you guys to see this end result, so let's get to it. Well, that concludes this video of me detailing the exterior of my 2010 Chevy Tahoe LTZ. No oxidation. There's little scratches. With the scratches I couldn't get rid of because it was too deep into the paint. And the roof is clean. It's not white. I am thoroughly impressed with this. I was either quoted $500 to $1,000 to compound and polish all of this outside of this car. And of course, it's understandable because it's a SUV. Relatively under $300, I got this done. It's September 8th. I got this done about 2 to 3 months ago and still looks really good. I haven't had time to make my own videos happen, and I have had time this week to do so. And that's also because I've been working on a podcast called The Real Cool. If you guys haven't heard it, go check it out on Spotify. It's really cool. The link will be in the description box below. I'm the sort of second editor of it. I just make their voices sound a little bit better. I sort of normalize it for Spotify, and I add effects and atmosphere and ambience. But set aside from that, if you realize this is the second video of this car, and I have a lot more to come for this car. This is a series that I want to put together that this will be included in. I want to do a lot to this car to make it the way I want it to. And of course, it's a 2010, it's 13 years old. It's not going to look brand spanking new, but there's certain things I want to do to make this a little bit more functional. Looks a little bit better to the eye. Like before, it was absolutely terrible to look at. But I want to bring this to car shows. I want to do car shows with my best friend TJ. He brings his truck to car shows, so I want to bring this to car shows. But in order for this to make it look really freaking good is the main thing, which is an eyesore, which is right in front of your eyes. It's the bumper. As you saw, I only did the top half of this bumper. I didn't bother the lower half because it's cracked, it has chips, scratches that I couldn't get rid of. You name it, it's on there. But I want to replace this entire bumper and the emblem and the back emblem. This mirror folds, that mirror does not. The dash has a big hole in it. I want that replaced. But as for the inside, in the fall when it gets really cool, I want to take out the carpets. Completely remove the seats, take out the carpets, clean the floor pan and all that, because I think this has either mold or mildew. I think it has mainly mildew, but mildew turns to mold. Why is because if you looked at the first video I ever put out on this when I was detailing it, the inside, it was white. The seats were white and it was stain ridden all over the place. And I personally think that that is mildew on the seats and also accumulated with the oils of the human body, the skin, dead cells, whatever. It's really disgusting if you really think about it. But I think that's the problem with this. It has mildew in it, and it still smells like crayons. Not as bad as when we first looked at this car and I sat in it and drove it home. It was very bad to the point I had the windows open. I've used ozone spray on the rugs and in the air, letting it circulate through the air vents. The AC does not smell, it just smells like nothing. So it's just the car itself that smells like the rugs. So I want to take out the rugs and pressure wash it, completely clean them again, but pressure wash it and spray like this mildew mold spray on it. And even maybe bring it, if it doesn't help, maybe bring it to someone that can actually professionally clean it. Next thing is I want to reupholster the front seats and maybe the back seats, because I believe it was neglected. I think this was cleaned maybe once in its lifetime and maybe vacuumed many times, but this has not been cleaned thoroughly. And because of that, I think the clear coat on these seats worn out. Because in my Yukon, of course it's a different year, but the Yukon had a very glossy, shiny look to it throughout the year, and when I added conditioner, it even popped more. And the last thing is, you only do this a year or two. I want to detail the engine bay. It has a little bit of oil and everything from it, but I seriously want to detail that thing, make it sparkling, so that when we bring it to car shows, you can pop up the hood and it looks amazing. I want to save up to get everything I want for this car to make it look amazing again, like it sort of looked like 13 years ago. Have you subscribed yet? If you haven't, or if you first came to this video and you're new, please subscribe. There's more to come with this car, as I said, but also I have 4 more cars around here to just detail at the end of the year in the fall. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you like this video, smash that like button. I usually don't say that, but it really helps spread to other people who want to look at detailing videos. And again, I'm by far no professional. I've looked up videos on how to detail the inside and outside of this car. You have to start from somewhere. So other than that, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a very long video, over an hour long, but honestly it was worth it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.